Did you know that we're eating at least 250 calories more per day now than we were several decades ago? That may not surprise you. Much of it comes down to the food supply and food manufacturing, in particular what we call ultra-processed foods. Hey there, I'm Neily with Neily on Nutrition, registered dietitian nutritionist and a certified health coach, helping people develop a healthy relationship with food. Now, it may not be so much of like what you're following, whether you're going the paleo route or keto or gluten-free or vegan or whatever. What it may come down to is what particular choices of foods you're making. In other words, are you eating more ultra-processed foods or are you eating more minimally processed foods or unprocessed foods? In this video, I'm going to talk about what ultra-processed foods are, why they're so prevalent in our food supply, and then some tips on what you can do to move away from more ultra-processed foods. What are ultra-processed foods? Well, first of all, let me just say that food processing is very important for our food supply for a number of things, one of them being that it helps keep food safe. I eat a number of processed foods. I eat frozen veggies. I eat plain Greek yogurt and a number of other things. But those aren't the kind of processed foods we're talking about. We're talking about what are ultra-processed foods. These foods can't even be called foods because they're not. They're extracted substances from whole plants and animals, and they're combined with other ingredients and then transformed into products that are then packaged and put on the store shelves, and they're so available in our in the grocery stores, but not just the grocery stores. We see them in vending machines, in convenience stores, and the checkout lane of any number of stores that are not food stores. So the prevalence of these can be a real challenge. These foods are highly profitable, and they account for about an estimated 60% of our food purchases. Plus, they're engineered in such a way that they can be really, really tasty and yeah, make it easy to overeat. They really end up looking nothing like the original plant or animal that they came from. Some examples include like soft drinks and drink beverages, kinds of packaged snack foods, mass-produced breads, ice cream, pastries, candies, pizza and pasta dishes, and all sorts of sauces. Just about every sauce that's in a jar. Basically, if it's in a package of some sort, it's probably an ultra-processed food. Even foods that you might think might be in the healthier category, like energy bars or granola bars, actually are ultra-processed foods. I remember when Greek yogurt started to get really popular. At the store, you'd see like Greek yogurt, and then you'd see like some flavored Greek yogurts. And just looking at one of the manufacturer's website recently, I counted up 15 different types of products. Some of them weren't even yogurt. There was non-dairy alternatives, there were creamers, and then within each of those categories, there were anywhere from 4 to 10 plus different products. So well over 100, maybe 200 different products that could be available. And the interesting thing is that, in some of them, like in the non-dairy products, you'd see like non-GMO, or organic, vegan, gluten-free, lactose-free, et cetera, you'd see all these features of them. But you know what? All of them, every single one, with the exception of one, would be considered an ultra-processed food. And that exception is just plain Greek yogurt. You look at the ingredient, singular, and it's cultured milk. That is the ingredient. That's the only one in this entire product portfolio that is that wasn't an ultra-processed food. And why are they so prevalent? Well, the convenience and the availability of food. Food is everywhere, like I mentioned before, not just at the grocery store. Now, when consumed in small amounts, of course, ultra-processed foods, if they're combined with other healthier calories, not that big of an issue. But if the majority of your diet comes from, fast food restaurants and convenience items and so forth, then a good portion of your diet is probably going to be ultra-processed foods. So what can you do? First of all, there's no need to look for perfection. If we can just make some small changes towards eating more wholesome, minimally processed foods. For example, just eating more at home. And maybe during this pandemic, maybe you have had the opportunity to eat a little bit more at home. But we also want to keep it really simple. So some things that you can do, for example, you make a big pot of rice or couscous, make enough of it for that evening, but also to have a number of different servings. So portion it out and freeze it. You could you pull your crock pot out of the cabinet where it might be collecting a little bit of dust, and very simple ingredients. And there's plenty of information on Pinterest and on the internet for recipes. Fresh is great, but frozen is terrific as well. It actually can be better, because if you're not eating that fresh, if it's going bad in the crisper, then it's doing you no good. So frozen is a great option. Instead of like an ultra-processed breakfast cereal, you could instead eat like overnight oats, which are very simple to make in just a few ingredients. You could have plain yogurt and add your own fruit versus any kind of a fruit-flavored yogurt. Instead of the ultra-processed salad dressings in the store, you could make a big jar of your own very simple vinaigrette, with just a couple of ingredients. Limit your sugar-sweetened beverages and added sugar in general as well. We're not looking for perfection. We're looking just to make small changes towards eating more wholesome, minimally processed foods. Regardless how you choose to eat, whatever your choice, focus mostly on your unprocessed foods or minimally processed foods versus the ultra-processed foods. No need to seek perfection, but just do a little bit better, perhaps. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up and hit that red subscribe button and the bell icon so you can get notified of my weekly videos. Thanks for watching Neily on Nutrition, and we'll see you in the next video. Take care. Hey there, I'm Neily with Neily on Nutrition, registered dietitian, nutritionist, and a certified health coach, helping people develop a healthy relationship with food. See my dog back there, Lex. Lay down, Lex. There you go.